Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to the Mailbag Showdown, where I sit here and answer questions that people have been sending me for, like, the past year. So yeah, you may notice if you actually check into my video... I just got another email, hey! Mute that, okay. You may notice if you go back into my video backlog that I haven't done one of these things since October. Unfortunately, I've been still getting emails since October, and I still had a backlog from previous to October, and this has been building up, so I figured that I would just sit and answer as many as I can. I got my handy-dandy lappy-toppy-top here, and I'm just gonna go through them, and then the interesting ones, I will speak it to the camera and answer directly. But, yeah, we'll see how that goes. And because of this, you may notice that I'm not using the traditional Chibi format that I have been using previously back in October. But that's because this is a lot easier to edit, and it's a lot less time-consuming, and considering the pure amount of mail I gotta go through, I figured this might be a better way of doing it, but I still like the Chibi. The Chibis are cool. So yes, if this is your first time seeing a Mailbag Showdown, people send me emails and I answer them, and that's basically it. If you don't want to watch, feel free to go look at cats or something. I don't know. Anyway, to show you how much mail I have, according to my mail client, I have 473 emails. And the oldest email in here that I have yet to answer is from July 18th from last year. That tells you something. So I'm gonna go through these, and hopefully we get some interesting stuff, so let's go. Hello, Ark. Although this may seem a bit odd or emo of me, I like sad anime. If an anime makes me cry, I find it as a sign that the story was good, and I make a connection with it and its characters. The first ones I think of that I've seen are Toradora, Clanad After Story, Canon, Anohana, Fruits Basket, Air, and I've heard about Grave of Fireflies, and I'm working on finding a way to watch it. Can you recommend any more to me? Are you kidding me? You're asking for sad anime? Anime that has made you cry, and then you proceed to list every anime that has succeeded in making me cry, and expect me to add to this list. Wait, no. Angel Beats. There, Angel Beats. Gotcha. You didn't list Angel Beats, did you? Did you? This was sent to me almost a year ago, so you've probably seen it since then, but so what? I caught you. Ha 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 ha. Ha, also curious, I was just curious as to what microphone you use, as I've been in voice acting for a while, and I like a better microphone, and yours sounds really nice. I use a Samson CO1U. There you are. You can see it in its glory. It is a condenser microphone, and I have it hooked up to a spider mount and a pop filter. So there we go, there's my setup. This probably isn't the best location to actually record things, because the room behind the camera is, like, kind of huge, but I make do with what I can, because I only have so much money to work with. But, yeah, there you go. I hope you don't mind me asking a semi-personal question, but what is the state of anime, and in particular manga, in the public libraries in your little slice of Canada? I ask because you mentioned that you don't read much manga for cost reasons. Now, in my slice of the US, libraries tend to have a not insignificant amount of manga for reasons that are unexplained. However, the more and more I hear from people from other parts of the US and Canada, the more I hear that Oregon, and particularly the Portland metro area, is the exception, not the rule. So, this leads to my question: how much manga is available in your local library system? Well, I'm gonna be honest, since I've moved to this particular location, in this particular part of the Greater Toronto area, I have not checked the local library systems, but other libraries that I've checked out in the GTA, they usually have some semblance of manga, but generally what it is the very popular series. But the worst thing that I think I have is that when I go to a library, they never have Volume 1. Volume 1's like always taken out by someone, and then there's like Volumes 12, 18, 25, and I was like, I can't do that. I have to read in order. That's how this shit works. So it's not that great. I wish it was better, but yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Hi Arcada, have you ever seen the anime Monster? If so, what do you think about it? Would you agree that Johan is the greatest anime villain of all time? Honestly, I haven't finished Monster. I've seen about the first 11 or so episodes, and considering the amount of episodes that are in Monster, I can't really say much on it. And the reason why I haven't finished it is because it's been licensed, so by my moral standards, I have to own it. Unfortunately, Viz has only ever released one DVD box set that only has like 11 episodes on it, and they seem to have no intention of releasing any of the rest of the series, even though they've already dubbed the whole thing because it was on TV. So that's kind of shit, and I'm still debating on what I want to do about that. So no, I have not finished reading or watching Monster. Sorry, got my words mixed up. And because of that, I cannot agree and or disagree that Johan is or is not the greatest anime villain of all time. Though I've heard the answer is yes. I was wondering if you had any recommendations for a show with slapstick tendencies or violence that is not explicitly serious, although that is not a romantic comedy wherein the girl is constantly hitting the protagonist, perhaps similar to Bludgeoning Able Dokuro-chan, or even some scenes from Angel Beats before it neared its end and elicited manly tears. Okay, my suggestion for this is a little old. Yeah, kind of really old-ish thing. But have you ever seen an anime called City Hunter? I think Lupin the Third would probably go well with this as well. But City Hunter is... the plot lines are semi-serious, but the character can switch between being very serious action hero to extremely horny pervert. And it's hilarious! And I haven't seen it in, actually, a number of years now. I should go back and try and find it, see if I can drag up a copy of City Hunter. That'd bring back memories. But yeah, that's what I suggest off the top of my head. How much do you love anime on a scale from 1 to 10? Are you serious? Are you trying to limit me by a scale from 1 to 10? Are you insane, man? My passion for anime cannot be contained by mere numbers. Seriously though, if you're forcing me to do that, I'm gonna say 10, unless I'm allowed to say 11. And if I'm allowed to say 11, I'm probably allowed to say 12, and then 13, and 14, and 15, and 16, because you really can't calculate this. You can't. It's like an infinite number. I love anime on endless 8 scale. How about that? If that even makes sense. Or maybe I'm just sprouting words. That could be. Dear Arcada, I know you'll hopefully get to this email eventually, but I was watching one of your showdowns and there was a question on here that made me want to ask this. My family doesn't quite understand my love of anime. They think it's a waste of time and I could be doing other things, referring to anime as Japanese porn and just making me upset. And as a critic myself, it can be hard to do what I love if my family doesn't understand and support me. Have you ever had the same problem, and do you have some advice on the matter? Thanks in advance. I think for my family, it's not so much of a problem of them not liking anime. It's more so of a problem of I don't let them know what I'm doing. Like, I know my family are aware of what I do, but I find it hard going into detail describing it to them, mainly because I get nervous that this is the exact thing that would happen. And like, I know I probably wouldn't, because I trust my family, and they're very nice family. And I've even gone so far as to introduce my father, for example, to a bunch of different anime that he loves. He loves Ghost in the Shell, and it's amazing. And I'm glad that I was able to do that. But because there's just such a wide range of anime, it's hard because people like to generalize it very quickly. People like to look at anime and consider anime its own genre, and no, that's not true, because anime is a whole mess of genres. So, like, yeah, there's Japanese porn. Some of it is animated. I'm not gonna dispute that. I can't say that hentai does not exist because I would be an idiot. It totally does. But alongside hentai, you have things like Azumanga Dao, which is heavily into comedy. You have things like Death Note, which is extreme mystery suspense, if I'm getting my genres right. You have beautiful-looking shows like Gankutsuo. Oh my god, Gankutsuo. You have even greater-looking shows like Garden of Sinners. And I realize I just said Garden of Sinners looks better than Gankutsuo, but whatever. You have shows based in different time periods, like Baccano. You have shows that cover a whole wide range of topics. You have shows that go into horror, like Higurashi. You have shows about street racing, like Initial D. You have shows about nerds, like Genjiken. You have stories about giant futuristic robots from Gundam to Razafon and Evangelion. You have shows about warriors fighting mystical beasts from Claymore and Berserk. And you also have shows about the regular person. And that's what I love about anime, and it's hard to try and explain this to someone who just doesn't get it, or is not listening, or is not willing to learn and pay attention, because there's just so much. So, to say if I'd have any advice, I'm probably not the person to ask, because I don't really talk to my family much about what I do. They know that I do it, and generally that's where we leave it. I don't go into detail. I don't say, yes, I'm watching this anime that has ecchi and slightly pornographic elements to it, because that would make me feel uncomfortable. So what I do instead is I introduce them to anime that I think that they would like. And that seems to work out for me to an extent. Might not be the best way of going about it, but it's what I do. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end it for the day. I just answered 76 emails and did a few of them on camera, so I think that's good for now, even though I seem to have barely made a dent in my inbox. I will get to most of them eventually. I just need to find time, and it's been something I've been putting off for far too long, so I just need to really just sit down and answer these questions. I'm not going to give the email, though. Technically, if you just go back into the other mailbags, you can find it. Mainly because I want to try and empty out this mailbox as much as I can before you send me new stuff. Because everybody that sent me stuff today, everything that I've read and everything I've answered, all these 76 emails are all from July of last year. So if you send me something now, I'm probably not going to get into it till like after Christmas. So at the current rate, I hope to do better than that, but I make no guarantees. Thank you to everybody that has sent me emails so far. Thank you to the people that have sent me emails that I haven't got to yet. Because I will, eventually, hopefully. I'm working on it. Thank you for watching my reviews and my videos, and until next time, stay frosty, everyone.